Society is predicated on your not finding yourself. There are two selves, the actual self and the potential self. There are two of everything, the right hand and the left hand. Two sides of the brain. It's obvious in the two sides of the body. These are virtual mirror images, du parzufim, two faces. In this two of everything, we must know this, that this is what the letter bet is. The Torah is this also. There are two aspects. There's an aleph of a male aspect and an hey of a female aspect. One of the major things is for a male who's an aleph to find his hey, his female aspect. It's what the concept of Kabbalah is, the hey, to receive the hey. Why? Because there are two aspects in the self. When one thinks of himself as a unified whole, this is very poetic, and it may be in the true sense of the potential self, but down below we are actually two, a level of two-ness that we are blocked from in our society. As you may not know, I'm trying to promote two forehand tennis, a right hand and a left hand. Not just a right hand only tennis, but a right hand and left hand forehands. Why? Because there are two hands. And these two hands have correspondences into the other sides of the brain. What society fears is a right-sided brain, a Chokmah brain. All of our supposed innovations are more of the same of Bina side brain. We need is to break through the limitations of the normative structures of intellectual thought, which are right and left, which are within themselves, which are good and bad, and the knowledge of the tree, of knowledge of das, of knowledge of good and evil, is a duality within the essence structure of the person. And what we have to get is into the other half of this duality, the Chokmah, the intuitive, the instinctive brain, where everything is already known and we are already right and we just go. We just do. And that's what Judaism is. In that Chokmah consciousness, which is the singularity, we use the two aspects of the Bina consciousness, the left and right, but not as left and right, as go. And that's the human being, the wholeness of the human being. He just goes, and obviously there's two hands. All this is a lot of verbal stuff that I'm giving you, which comes out of Bina consciousness, of left brain consciousness, which is right hand consciousness, which is the societal. That's why we give our right hand for a handshake. Or everything is done in Judaism with the right hand first. And we tie up, so to speak, our left hand with tefillin. But there's another half of ourselves, the natural self, as opposed to the societal self. And that's why we're always, our whole life, kind of like unhappy, unsatisfied, because we're not getting this sense of the natural self. And what I'm proposing is a natural Judaism that's supposed to lead you to this natural self of being in constant communication with Hashem, and He's directing everything without thought. And that's the Etzilius consciousness of Chochmah. That's kind of like the Chaya aspect of the soul, leading into the Yehida aspect of the soul, where these aspects then come together as one. So in Bina consciousness, in Bria consciousness, where the bet of the Torah lies, things look dual. In Chochmah consciousness, where the Aleph worlds are, these two things come together and they're used, the dual is used as one. There's another higher consciousness, basically of Hashem, which is Vav in the Aleph, holding together the two yuds of the two hands, of the left and right, the up and the down consciousness. These things are the meditative devices, how to become aware of these levels of existence. Do you want innovation? Do you want creativity within the old framework, or what is really innovation? To take this previous framework and go. Perceive what's really there for the true happiness that's our birthright, and that appears to be as Olam Haba, and to bring down Olam Haba into Olam Hazeh is to bring Emunah into doubt, Safek. Whenever there's two choices, there's always doubt. That's why McDonald's is having such a difficult time now with their menu. Too many choices. So they're reducing their choices, because choices create doubt. When there's no choice, you just go. And so I sometimes bring up the samurai Bible here. One of the great secrets of the samurai warrior is he already thinks of himself as dead. If he already thinks of himself as dead, then when he comes into a room, he just slashes. He can go through a room of 10 people and kill them all because he's slashing. The others are protecting themselves because they think they're still alive and they want to protect their life. That's slow. Where the samurai comes in, he already knows he's dead, and so he goes right through it. And that's what the great Etzmutz, Etz, Mavet, tree of death, the essence level. One needs to be dead to his previous existence to establish his second existence. He has to be dead to his old self to establish his new self, his potential self. And what is that self? It may be a no self that's posing as a self. A virtual reality. We don't know because we've stayed within the framework so long, the unhappiness framework. So I invite you to get out of the unhappiness framework. Explore the second self, because we are two of everything. And I will see you on that journey.